Steve, he's a common thread. He was really around at the earliest stages of the union when we first got free agency, and he was involved from the beginning.
There's probably a lot of people that don't even know what he's doing back there, and he's affected their careers and really helped them.
I've always said that the biggest thing that we accomplished during my course of time with the Players Association was the fact that we got the pension changed. That was an area that Steve was most concerned about.
It was important because that's long-term security when the minimum salary was $6,000 a year. You knew that you needed to have a good pension, and that's what they fought for. My first spring training in '73, we get locked out because the pension had been worked on, but now the owners took the proactive thing and said, well, we're not going to let the players set a strike date. We're going to lock them out of spring training on the salary arbitration issue. Well, I'm right in the middle of that. I don't know anything. I'm ready to go to spring training, and there's no spring training. Because it affected my first chance to make the big leagues, it became really important to me solely on the fact how it affected me. With that in mind, though, it didn't take long to understand what had happened with the players in '72 fighting for the pension and what was being done on salary arbitration in '73. So it was important from the very beginning that I do my best to understand as much of it as possible. I became the player rep in '76, and then at the executive board meeting, I was elected as the National League pension rep. I was a rookie, young player, and then they elect me. And so I kind of was a little self-deprecating. I said, well, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with all these millions of dollars I'm in charge of. And I'll never forget, Marvin looked across the table and he said, sir, this is not anything to joke about. This is the pension. I said, okay. It was, it was that stern, because he didn't want there to be any mistake about the fact that you're now taking on a huge responsibility. It was very important to me, to be informed and to be educated on things. So with that in mind, I took the importance to be much larger than just what I'm seeing and what I understand. It's everybody, it's all the players. It's learning about what drives that part of my career.
It was him against you on the field. When it came to negotiations and particularly pension issues, it was him with you, no matter who you were, no matter what team you were on, no matter how good a player or how poor a player you were, he was concerned about your well-being. And that to me was really the real Steve Rogers.
These issues that, they seem like small things are a big thing to current players or even the next generation of players. So we all hear about kind of the sexy things that happen in the CBA talks and all the stuff that makes the news, but for guys that are digging into the details behind, they make a big difference for us players.
Being an exceptional athlete and performer in a team sport like baseball, he's taken that approach now into his post-playing experience and brought it to the union. And I think we're all just so much better for having that mission first, like we're here to get a job done mentality.
As my career, my years here with the Players Association have gotten into the 35 plus years, I've realized that just as important as baseball was, pitching in baseball was to me after 12 years of playing the game, after all these years at the Players Association, it's just as much a part of me as the game was when I left it. It's the magnitude of how I feel about my careers, both careers, is equal. It's the same, they've got the same part of me. And when I kind of put that in that context, it was kind of neat. I understood, I really feel good that that's the way I feel.
Steve, I just want to say congratulations on winning the Curt Flood Award. You are humble, smart, dedicated. You've been an inspiration to me and so many other players. So thank you for everything you've done for the union, everything you continue to do for the union. the players are very lucky to have you on their side.
We're very appreciative of that, and a lot of times, maybe don't hear our thankfulness, but we really are, and to be able to do that without getting much thanks is very appreciative. And now for him to get the award is great, and for him to get the recognition that he deserves.
Congratulations on winning the Curt Flood Award. I don't know if you can come up with a better association than Curt Flood and what he did for the Major League Baseball players, and then Steve Rogers, on the other hand, the one who stepped forward to make sure that the Major League Baseball pension is what it is today and what it will continue to be. We all did little things that helped along the way. These two guys did big things.
To be part of the Players Association for as long as I've been able to be a part of it is one of those deals that it's all comes from the image of Curt Flood. It's honestly about doing right for the guys out there that are on the field every day. And they may not even know what's being done, and that's fine. That is fine. But it allowed me to, one, it was a job I was really excited about having it early on and have maintained that excitement about being involved. And yet I know that every year just grinding through what the things that you have to do on an administrative level and stuff, it truly helps the players on the field. It's very gratifying. It's much more than a job. To have the current player leadership having acknowledged what I've done over the years is humbling, because that's not what you set out to do.